I know you've heard of a number of misconceptions about the insurance industry.
Mhm.
And so we went, I scoured.
Up all night.
Up all night.
Reaching seedy corners of the internet.
prompted artificial intelligence, I'll be honest with you,
Yeah.
and said, okay, what are the most common myths out there, or maybe not myths, or things that people ask questions about. And so we could do this myth busting segment. So I'm going to go through this list.
Okay.
And I want you to kind of go myth or busted.
Gotcha.
Or maybe somewhere in between.
Could be in between.
All right,
There's a lot of gray areas.
Yeah, okay, there is. Okay,
Yeah.
so here's the first one. My homeowner's insurance covers everything.
That's definitely a myth.
Okay.
Definitely a myth.
All right.
So there are, ideally, the homeowners insurance companies, they try to package a homeowner's policy that captures and covers the vast majority of what you would experience as a homeowner. So whether it's fire, lightning, theft, vandalism, pipes bursting, things like that. There are always going to be some really hard exclusions that the insurance companies label out. So for the dwelling coverage, you'll typically know that flood is not going to be covered under a homeowner's policy.
How about earthquake?
Earthquake, you can endorse it on with certain companies. Not all companies carry an earthquake endorsement. And that one tends to come with like a 5% or a 10% deductible, 5 or 10% of your dwelling coverage. So if you have a $500,000 house and your deductible is 5%, you're going to have a $25,000 deductible. Did I do my math right? Yes. Yeah. Had to think about that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can pick up earthquake coverage with a lot of carriers. Again, not all of them carry it. Of course, intentional loss is not going to be covered. Mudslides and earth movement, that falls under earthquake, but mudslides would fall under flood. But then there's also, when you get to your personal property coverage, you end up most oftentimes, the standard policy that most carriers write in North Carolina reduces itself from being comprehensive perils like we get with the dwelling coverage, where everything's covered unless they say is excluded. Then it goes to, hey, you're covered for these 16. And there's occasionally 1 or 2 carriers that break it up into a 17th name peril, but they're all the same. But you've got coverage for these perils. There are some carriers that still write a policy that gives you comprehensive perils on the personal property, subject to those same exclusions that I spoke about.
But I think what you're saying here too is that you can add these coverages. You can add the earthquake coverage. You could add a flood.
A lot of times, yes. Those two, a lot of the times. The flood, yes, you can always pick up a flood policy, whether it's through FEMA, but we've also had the emergence of private sector that have come in.